Littleton Coin Company is ringing in the holiday season with daily deals. Visit littletoncoin.com for at least 15% off select products now through November 28th. Save on your favorite coins, such as Morgan Silver Dollars, Kennedy Half Dollars, commemorative quarters, and much more. But hurry, each day offers a new deal you don't want to miss. Visit us now at littletoncoin.com. That's littletoncoin.com. Littleton Coin Company, serving collectors since 1945.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work podcast. Once again, this is your host, Maurice. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe on all platforms. We're on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and many others. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So once again, today I have a special guest, and she has been a true inspiration to me. I have known her for, wow, I can't even tell you how long I've known this young lady, to be honest. She has started her own organization. She founded it in the year of 2017. She is a talent acquisition consultant and career coach. So if you need someone to walk you through how to be a professional and even some girl power, you need to speak to her. Her name is Miss Keirsten Greggs. Thank you very much, Keirston, for coming on the show today.
Hi, Maurice. Thanks for having me. And you were treading dangerously close with that. How long you have known me? You have known me since before you changed your wife's last name.
Yeah,
How
right.
about that?
You're right.
Since church. Since you've known me since church. The end.
Yeah, right. That is funny. That's funny. And yeah, you're right. We have known each other for quite some time. We've watched our just going through the growing process as teenagers and adulthood, things like that. But I truly appreciate our friendship and being able to, bounce off each other, this whole business thing that we're both going through. It has truly been a blessing to know you. True,
Likewise.
So listen, Keirston, what made you start the Trap Recruiter LLC? Let's talk about that a little bit.
I started Trap Recruiter LLC by mistake.
Really?
I went through a career transition in 2016, in the summer of 2016.
Got you.
And I was laid off. And I had some time. To relax and say, okay, what am I going to do? So, of course, the first thing you do when you don't have a job is go look for another one.
Right.
And, I did some contract work with some friends I know who own their own businesses. And, then comes 2017. And then, it was more time. And I'm not working full-time, or I'm not working regularly. And people aren't really reaching out to me about jobs because, to be quite honest, I don't think I did enough to let people know that I was actually looking. I was still active on social media. I was still doing a lot of things I was doing in an effort to find a job. I was interviewing, especially in 2017. I was interviewing a lot, and I had some bad experiences with interviews in terms of recruiters reaching out to me, recruiters who were either intimidated by me because of the years of experience that I had. So they would, knock me out from the gate, or people that were enamored with me, not to pat myself on the back, but people that were enamored with me and just wanted to meet me because here's this crazy person saying all the stuff that we don't get to say, that we don't want, that we're afraid to say. Here's this person that's being a voice for me and all of the tragic things that go on in the recruiting landscape.
Right.
And then I had people that were trying to use me, who would invite me in to, take these recruiting tests and talent acquisition tests, where what they really wanted was me to design a strategy for them, or, give them a playbook for metrics and things like that. And I just got sick of it.
Wow.
Yeah. And on a personal side, as things started to deteriorate financially,
right,
and I was spending more and more time dipping into my savings, I'm like, this can't work.
Right.
And then I got depressed, or I admitted I was depressed.
Wow.
And I wasn't depressed because I didn't have a job. I didn't have a job because I was depressed. And that was the universe. That was the higher power. That was God's way of saying, it's time for you to slow down, take a look at yourself, and get yourself together so that we can repackage, redesign you, get you out there and get you doing the work that I've purposed you to do. And again, I'm hard-headed. So I went back to work in 2017 around April, because I started getting my little swagger back. Got you. People starting to reach out to me, come speak at my event.
Right.
And I'm like, well, do these people now don't have a job? And again, it was a trusted friend.
Right.
He's like, yeah. He's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. This is one of those people that, because I was active on social media, did not know that I didn't have a job.
Right.
So that gave me a little bit of confidence. But I will tell you, I went back to work for 9 days, and it was the worst 9 days of my life.
Wow.
And
Wow.
On day 9 at about 3:08 p.m., I sent an email and I said, this is my last day. I'm logging off right now. I will bring you your laptop on Monday. God bless you. Good night.
Wow.
And I got serious about starting my business. That's where I've been since then.
So let me ask you this. How would you encourage someone that maybe, I'm going through what you just mentioned about one particular part about being too qualified for a position. How would you tell people to deal with stuff like that? That's kind of, a lot of people kind of dealing with that right now, because it's not a lot of things that's open. That's one of the things that I keep hearing. And I know since you're in that industry, you could touch it on that a little bit more. But even with just being too qualified, how would you talk to somebody or encourage them so they won't get depressed in a situation like that?
So it's okay to be overqualified. I call these that's what I call the in-between job.
Right.
You have your in-between job, you have your current job, you might, be having a lapse in your employment. And then there's your dream job. So there's nothing wrong with taking an in-between job while you're building towards and continuing to focus on and strive for what it is your dream job is. And that's what I do. I tell people to do that. We have to eat. We have to live someplace. There are people that have to, take care of their families, pay student loans. Keep gas in the car. Have transportation fare. If public transportation is available.
Right.
Like, there are things that you have to do to ensure that you can even, get a job, maintain a job. So it's okay to work at Target. It's okay to take the administrative assistant position even in a company that has a great deal of jobs. Because I promise you, if Amazon would have hired me, I just name dropped. That wasn't good.
It's all right. It's right.
If a company would have hired, if a large multinational global company had hired me, to come in to be an administrative assistant, I would have done that. Because I know that there were positions available, and I am one who likes to ask for forgiveness and not permission, and trust and believe that I would have let them know what I can do. And people don't know what you can do until you do.
Tell it. Yeah. Right. And it's interesting that you put it that way, because I think people are not allowing themselves that freedom to be that flexible. As you're stating that sometimes you may not get the job that you want immediately. You have to build upon it sometimes, and people don't understand that. That in-between job, like you said, that Target, that Walmart, whatever it might be, You never know who's going to walk through the door.
No, or who you're going to pick up in your Uber or
Right.
in your Lyft, or whose groceries you're going to check out. You don't know. I've met a few people that I have career counseled that were my transportation driver. You know, that my ride app driver, because they struck up a conversation with me. Come to find out, you know, they might be actually in school for IT, or, you know, they might have been laid off, or they're just starting out and, you know, they want to get to a help desk position or something like that. And I've been able to facilitate that and help them with that. You never know.
No, you don't. And I think that's where sometimes we just need to humble ourselves and understand that opportunity is everywhere. You just have to speak up. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
You know, and, you know, I think even for myself, just as I've been in business, I've had some fears that I've had to overcome, and some expectations of myself. Like, yo, you know what? I don't qualify. I can't do this. I can't do that. Until you try it. Sometimes you don't know until you try it. You know, and put yourself in that right headspace. Even, you know, some people don't understand that. And I'm glad that someone like yourself, you know, can help people kind of get over that and overcome that. I mean, if people follow you on social media, man, they should be encouraged every day. You know,
and we've had this conversation before, that a lot of that, what you just said, me encouraging people on social media, that was really me encouraging myself. Like, that was the mirror. That was me needing it. Like, I needed all of that. And for about 2 years, you know, I'm just the end of 2019, like truly getting myself back, you know, not seeing myself as a caterpillar anymore, starting to see those wings, you know, starting to see the butterfly. So I was getting joy out of, you know, seeing those things work for other people, you know, people coming back and telling me, hey, you know, I appreciated when you said X, Y, and Z, you know, that's why I would, you know, at times post people's, you know, recommendations or referrals, or, you know, something kind that they had to say about how I helped them, or how I inspired them, how I encouraged them.
Right.
That was to help me encourage myself so that I could be truly authentic when I'm doing that. Like, you can't be in the type of business that I am in. You can't be, you know, trying to build trust and you know, and be a relationship builder when you're not authentic.
Right.
And people start to see that. I don't tell anybody anything that I have not either already done or I'm not currently doing.
Right.
And I'm not trying for myself.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that people are always trying to put on a good face. And that's not, as you said, that's not authentic. People feel like they need the realness right now. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why reality TV is so popular, because they feel as though that's real everyday life. Even though a lot of it is scripted, though, but still, they feel like that's, hey, I could relate to that, and looking at your social media and how, like you said, you're encouraging people, you're showing how just everyday people can become better, how they can strive to be better. You know, even in your little tips on making your resume pop a little bit. You know, it's not out there every day, all day, and you're not throwing shade on anyone. You're just saying, hey, here's a little tidbit to become a little bit better, just so you can be more marketable or whatever it might be.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
You know, so in that, as you've maneuvered with Trap Recruit, even how did you even come up with that name? Like, that's even different.
I didn't. I was taking one of these Facebook tests with a good friend of mine. And there was a question that said, if I was famous, what would I be known for? And his response was trap recruiting. And this was at a time when I was trying to rebrand myself as a blogger. I was no longer on the multi-contributor HR blog I was on that had a strong following and all of that. And I was trying to, you know, find my place in it. And for me, I was like, this is the only way, because of the way that my friends have, my circle has succeeded in the HR space. They were all bloggers first, and then bloggers, speakers, business owners, some of them, some of them doing both, working full time at a company and doing consulting work as well. But what I didn't see, which is I think one of the dangers of social media, is that we see the results, and sometimes I think we forget about how long they've worked towards that. You're right. So, I mean, these are folks that have been doing this for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years. And they are succeeding, yes, but I can't expect that same thing in a year or two. I mean, it happens for some people. Right. That's awesome. That's great. But trust and believe, even the overnight successes have been working for years.
So let's put it out there, Keirston. How long have you really been in this industry? Honestly.
I've been in talent acquisition for 20 years.
So I just want people to understand that as she's speaking,
I am very young and I graduated early, and Maurice is out here trying to slander my name.
But I just want to solidify what you're talking about right now, that becoming the expert that you are and at the point where you are is taking some time. It's growth and development.
Oh, every day. I'm definitely not where I want to be. No, I'm not. Every day I'm trying harder and harder.
Now, listen, in that, as you've become the trap recruiter, how did you get to the point where you have given yourself enough motivation to get some of the contracts and the portfolio and things like that, just from an entrepreneur mentality or aspect? How did you get to that point?
I think I'm still getting there. I had to get out of my own way because, as you can imagine, Trap Recruiter is not a go-to brand in the defense and intelligence recruiting space. Right. But the people who know me, it's for them. The people that know my work, it's for them. The job seekers that come to me for career counseling, or the companies that hire me to help them with transition work or to train their recruiters, or to do searches for them, they definitely know me. Like, they're not hung up on what my company is called. And I was stuck in that place because I did have people who said to me, you might want to change. I don't think that's a good name for you. Like, I have people today who I'm trying to transition away from my personal social media accounts. So, like, I have 2 Twitter accounts, I have 2 Instagrams, I have, 2 Facebooks, all that. And I will not use my old Twitter anymore. And I put out a notice saying I wasn't doing it, but I have people that will not follow me, will not interact with me on Trap Recruiter, who will 100% engage with me all day long from Keirston Aaliyah. Right. They just won't do it. They just won't do it. Like, they're hung up on that. But can we talk about that? Like, is Apple really a awesome name? No, but we're sitting here right now on their products taping this podcast.
Sure enough. You're
Why
right
not
about
orange?
that.
Why not great?
Right. I mean, it's a whole lot of names or logos or whatever. Certain things are, again, that's not attractive that we utilize every day. Car names, things like that.
Everything's not for everyone.
Right.
Yep, everything's not for everyone. So I'm for who I'm for, and that's where I am, and that's what's really been able to help and propel me forward. Like, I'm staying true to the things that I want to do. I'm staying true to the people that I want to help. I thankfully have the luxury to choose which customers I select. Like, that's just as much up to me as it is to them, because not only am I not for everybody, but I'm not here to help someone who is ultimately working not in my best interest. Right. I'm not going to help them continue to be successful.
Right. And you know what? I think one of the things that people need to understand, even with your name called Trap Recruiter LLC, which is official name, that it has not limited you on being a guest speaker in places or other podcasts and facilitating workshops and so many other things that you've done that's been so great in your short amount of time of just having this company. And that
Correct.
the name has not gotten in the way. And really what it comes down to is your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Your brand is very professional.
Thank you.
Your brand has been, again, as I keep saying, very inspiring. And it lets people understand that don't let the name dictate really what we're doing. It might explain it a little bit, but that's not our true brand. Our brand is how we carry ourselves every day. And,
right. I am my brand, though. I mean, the FBI didn't mind.
Right.
When they had me come speak for a Women's Month event, they didn't mind.
And that's what I mean.
Trap Recruiter as a brand, I think people get hung up on the word trap, not realizing that it is actually an acronym.
And that's I think that's what I'm trying to get to, that your brand is so much bigger than just a name. So let the audience understand what the acronym Trap Recruiter really means.
Okay, so TRAP is an acronym for trust, relationship building, accountable, and proactive, and it's basically my methodology for recruiting, for talent acquisition, like how I approach things. Like, trust is the foundation of all relationships.
Right.
And if we want to maintain them, we 100% have to be accountable for our actions, for our words, for the ways that we, take missteps.
Right.
And then the proactive approach is, continuing to power forward,
Wow.
Being your bold, authentic, driven self. So I do frame my workshops around those themes, depending on what they are about. I do frame the advice, so to speak, that I give.
Now, do you find yourself coming across doing business just locally, or do you think you're more of a national/global entity?
I would love to be I will be a global entity.
Right, we got to speak into life.
I will be a global entity, but yeah, I have. I was invited to speak at the Philadelphia citywide job fair in 2018. I think is that when that song Kiki, Do You Love Me?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So
That's funny.
I did a spin on that, with my Trap Recruiter spin. Put the Kiki, Are You Hiring? Because anyone doesn't know, that's my childhood nickname. I have 80-year-olds who still call me that. They won't let it go.
Right.
That's okay. I have done some remote work in Colorado with a friend who works in higher education. Mm-hmm. People here, obviously in DC, Virginia, and Maryland know me. I've been invited to Delaware to speak at a women's group. So it just depends on the person. I support positions all over the world because of the organization that I currently have a recruiting contract with. But you're not global then? Would that make you global? Maybe we're claiming it right now. You're global. Not from a career coach. I don't think so. From a career coaching.
No,
standpoint,
I know what you mean.
And I think that's what we were talking about.
Right. Yeah.
From the job seeker's perspective, no. Right. But from a talent acquisition consultant perspective, yes. Right.
I know. I understand. I just want people to understand that, hey, you can get there when it really comes down to it. It's not. You have to be able to, as we're talking right now, speak it into existence. You be positive. Make sure that you put yourself in those positions that can get you to where you want to get to. You're in that position. You have the clients. Now, we didn't get into how much work it is to get into the client, get the clients. And that's because y'all, I don't know if y'all are ready for this, but, maybe Kiki may have a little segment here on That'll Never Work podcast, and have her, y'all can hear her. We don't know. We'll figure that part out a little later on. But we want y'all to understand that Keirston has been really hustling Trap Recruiter. It's not a fly by night thing, and we want y'all to understand that. And as she's trying to, from what I've seen on my end, again, these little nuggets, these little tidbits has truly helped other people. Because we've talked about, I mean, we have some friends, Keirston, that where I've talked to them about some of the things that you've put out there that's even helped them. You know,
What?
Yeah. It's especially when they're trying to see how some of our group has been progressing.
Our group has progressed. Our group has progressed.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of us.
Right. And, you know, again, we're not putting out how long we've known each other, but we are a group of individuals that we're kind of ambitious, I would say. And we didn't let that phrase, that'll never work, really affect us like that. So this particular podcast, that's what it's about. We're not allowing that word or that phrase to get us down and to stop us. And I think you've really truly embodied that type of mentality, Keirston. I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. And as you touched on just a moment ago on the slide, I am also appreciative and honored to join you, and you're probably one of the only people I would have done this for. Step out of my comfort zone, and not just appear on a podcast, but to take ownership of a small segment every so we'll talk about that another time.
Right.
About issues surrounding your people's job search, their career trajectory, some of the issues that they face, and even some of the wins that they're having in their careers, and sometimes entrepreneurship or re-entering the workforce, whatever the case may be. So I'm excited to be starting that new journey here very soon, and look forward to you helping me continue to blossom and get out of my comfort zone a little bit more.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think I'm not sure if people understand really, other things or other platforms that you're on. We talked about social media a little bit, but you did have your own blog also.
I did, and it will be back. My website is coming down. I'm revamping my website starting in February. And I have started writing again, but I think that, we'll continue to re-engage, via social media. I'll still be active, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm starting not to like Instagram as much. The algorithms are so messed up right now.
Right.
But I am going to continue to, to be a voice, give voice, and when I did stop writing for myself, so to speak, I think you'll notice, like, I still, have a voice. Like, I, have done some interviews or had some features in other, in print and media, print and digital publications, not helping, but, supporting other people in their, their career-wise column or work smart column. So I still am contributing, but I've done webinars as well. I'm still contributing, but I had to pull it back in. I had to bring myself back in,
right.
And reestablish, resustain, like really protect myself and the brand that I'm building. Correct. And I do have a job. I mean, I work for myself, but I'm a consultant to a company, so recruiting's not a 9-to-5 job. So I do have things I have to do, and I needed to focus on that. I needed to get back in a groove before I came back out, guns blazing. I definitely don't want to put out anything that's not what I consider good enough.
Right.
So,
and that's fine. I mean, we just want to let the people know, hey, this is, these are some of the other avenues where they could follow you, hear what you have to say, things like that. And there's one last thing before we let you go.
Yes.
What made you come up with #RecruiterProblems, the meme series?
Recruiter Problems started before anything. Recruiter Problems started all of it. Recruiter Problems is my baby. Like, it was like my way of being a jerk without calling people specifically out.
Right.
So that's when, like, I would just make these memes about stuff that I was going through, like stuff that I was experiencing, and that became, Recruiter Problems is like the first time I really stepped out there. And then again, I get encouragement from my folks who had already established themselves, and they're like, this needs to be a blog, or this needs to be this needs to be that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Recruiter Problems will 100% always be around, and everybody. A lot of people use the hashtag now. I like to say that I started it, and if you Google it right now, I bet you if there's 10 things come up, 9 of them are mine.
Okay.
But no one owns well, people do own a hashtag, but no one owns Recruiter Problems, and
right.
I love the contributions. I actually encouraged that at one point on LinkedIn, of folks, finish this recruiter problem or finish this meme type of thing. So
nice.
Yeah, Recruiter Problems is for everyone, because we all have them. We all have them.
That's nice. Well, Keirston, I truly, truly appreciate you being on the show today. Truly.
Thank you again for having me.
And do you want to spell out any of your social media for people to follow you, or you want to hold off on that?
No, please. I am on every platform: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Did I miss any?
You on Snapchat? YouTube?
I have it, but I don't use it.
I understand. But you want to say what exactly your
You
tag
can find
is?
me at Trap Recruiter, TRAPRECRUITER.
All right. Keirston, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And listeners, please make sure you follow her, subscribe to her, and make sure you speak back to her and give her some feedback one way or the other. All publicity is good publicity. I don't care if it's good or bad. It's still publicity. So we thank you very much for listening, and make sure y'all tune in next week. This is Maurice. Peace.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.